All right, folks. I'm coming on here with a heavy heart right now, real big. This is a day that I really didn't want to be on here, guys, and I don't feel good. I'm not gonna lie. I've got a bad headache. I'm getting sick as a dog. I've got a sore throat, so there's not gonna be a lot of talking. There's gonna be a lot of listening. Um, all news outlets are talking about martial law. It's not looking good, folks. It's not looking good at all. I'm gonna clean up this right now. Let's see here. Are we at? I'm gonna wait until y'all in. Try to come in. If you can try to get in here. They have blocked some more people on my YouTube channel. Okay, because you're putting in the wrong stuff, guys. I'm not gonna say it again. You need to start watching all my videos. They're deleting freedom of speech, folks. Y'all need to start listening to me. They have blocked some of the spiritual folks on my YouTube channels. So whoever's on here, whatever you do, do not say anything spiritual and do not start doing any hate. Okay? I've got an email telling me that I won't lose my subscribers, but they will be deleted. The people that has been subscribing to me will be deleted and blocked. This is not my plan, this is theirs, okay? We've got big problems, folks. Actually, we've got more than big problems. Did you see the moon last night? I was gonna try to get a video of it. It was so bright I could see the backyard with it. But that is one of the signs. July 27th may be the day martial law may be in effect. There's two plans that's happening right now. Donald Trump and the deep state. The deep state trying to overpower Trump with impeachment. Well, guess what? If you have not heard, Donald Trump has signed an executive order on Rex 84. If you don't know what Rex 84 is, that is a plan for martial law. This has happened in the 1700s. Now, I told you the Clintons and the Trumps have been together all along. And maybe you don't understand this, but I do. Jeffrey Epstein's friends with Trump. Trump is friends with the Clintons. Clintons are friends with Jeffrey Epstein. You're not ever going to find out who raped who, okay? You're only going to hear it from me and ex-CIA and ex-NSA telling you what's going on. Nobody is real on these YouTube channels. I have noticed this. I guess they got no balls, or maybe they don't have the guts. Who knows? All I know is I'm on here and I'm on a suicide mission to keep you and your kids safe. And I don't care how I have to do it. With further ado, if you've not ever heard of martial law, you're about to find out. Here comes the pain, folks. And this is what I've been reporting. I've been reporting this for months, even a couple of years now, that this was coming. That this was Obama's written out plan, but it wasn't just Obama Reagan wrote it out in the 80s, folks. I want you to know that right now. July 27th, Wormwood's supposed to show up. Back out. Go ahead and back out. All I know is you won't survive. Because I've got the answers, you don't. We've had nothing but earthquakes left and right in Montana, folks. I stayed up all night long watching the screen. Watching the live cam in Montana. Thanks for the like, by the way. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit about life anymore. I think they gave up. I think they're just a bunch of idiots. And they're the ones that will die first. Here it is. I'm going to let you hear this. At first, I thought it was just the Bible. Guys, they read the Bible. The ones that did not believe in God. And whammo. Here we are. Martial law. Just like the Bible said. Now, how can you not believe in God, but you read the Bible and you do what the Bible says? Satanists. That's what I want to know. How stupid you think we are. We're not ignorant. Now, maybe the atheist people that has never read the Bible before may be dumb. Because they're the ones that's going to die too. This is the plan. Martial law is going to be in effect. The chip is here. The MK Ultra chip is here. My throat is killing me. My throat on the left side. I don't know why, just the left side. But I'm hurting today. But I had to get it out today. And I want to let you know something, folks. I'm letting the game play for y'all so y'all can see it. But I want you to understand this right now. If you don't fight for your kids and for these ladies, then you're a coward. I already see you're a coward. You keep on backing out. I see you come in and back out. Come in, back out. Do what you want to do. It's just another view for me, thanks. And I'm connected to 4 channels. So I'm getting a view every time. This is just my live channel. Where you get all the information. I had it on the other channel, but they said I had WWE music knowing it was my music. They're idiots. They're idiots, folks. We've got some idiots out here. We're going to talk about Kevin Shipp, ex-CIA, talking about the Russian collusion, that it was a hoax. And that I was right on that. It was nothing but a hoax. When this bomb goes off in Baltimore, they're going to blame Russia. This is another way of the United States to split up the United States and Russia. Okay, it's not the United States that's doing it though, guys. It's the Vatican. It's Israel, and it is the Europeans. And China. Okay, folks? Just thought you might want to know that. Alright, further ado. This is Alex Jones, which I don't believe in. But his story is true. But I think he's just sitting there making fun of us like, ha, 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 ha. Y'all are all going to a FEMA camp and I'm not. I sold out. And that's what he's done. He sold out to y'all, against y'all. So here you go, folks. I hope y'all enjoy. The Freemasons will not win, I promise. We will fight. We will fight. You may not, but we will.
Here tonight. But I do want you to know, and I do want you to understand that I want freedom in America and I want freedom worldwide.
Bullcrap.
Now, I came back in this evening, even though I was having dinner with my children a couple hours ago, and got some crew in here to do this emergency broadcast, because I have been really nervous and upset about all the information I've been seeing, and I've been studying it and knowing that what was really happening was hiding in plain view, but I wasn't computing it. Well, now
I was right and you were wrong.
I have the total breakdown of what's really going on. It all clicked about 2 hours ago. I'm going to go over the news articles, all of it for you right now. Now, I could easily get caught in the minutia of every point. Like, they're showing kids that were kept with their parents and saying they weren't. And they're showing other, fake videos. And mainstream media is calling for civil war. And the Democrats calling for killing Republicans and shooting them inside restaurants. And we've covered that. But then I was sitting there tonight doing research at dinner with my family. And I thought, wait a minute, it's Rex 84. But we always thought, because the liberal media told us, those of us that were informed, because it was only something intelligentsia were involved in, that there was a governmental plan in the 80s. If the Democrats tried to collapse the southern border and bring in a bunch of communist insurgents, a real Red Dawn scenario, that then they would try to bring in families to pull on the heartstrings of Americans. If Latin America collapsed, their population was half of what it was then, 30 years ago, and that they would use Rex 84 to house them and ship them back. And then it hit me. Trump has announced the military bases are going to hold these people because the influx of migrants is already up 300+% since he got in. And it's going to be 1,000% when they're done.
By the way, 4th of July, he has ordered a military parade. Trump is doing just like the book of the goat or something like that. Some kind of cartoon. I never watched it before. CIA sending me some stuff about it. It's about the pet goat, and it shows that the army is coming in. He's showing signs how strong their army is going to be. Okay, folks? I just thought you know that. Remember, 4th of July, he's bringing in a military parade in Washington, D.C. is what I'm hearing.
The UN runs it, all of it. Latin America's collapsing. So they're ramping up all these people saying, if you stop any of them, you're a terrorist, you're Hitler, you're whatever. And it's all an admitted plan that we knew the Democrats and the communists and the globalists were planning in the 80s. And so President Reagan at the time developed Operation Rex 84. And so I'm like, oh, look at this horrible plan for emergency centers at military bases to put Americans in FEMA camps. And I bought the whole leftist thing in college, everywhere. They taught this about the camps, the plan for camps. But the plan in the actual document that Congress released was just taking care of families and then shipping them back from where they came from if they weren't political refugees. And so here I am, 23 years later, thinking I was a conservative, thinking I knew what was going on, but buying the leftist propaganda that there were these FEMA camps everywhere. Now, there are FEMA camps, and Clinton admitted it, for conservatives and libertarians and Christians. They want a civil war. They want to bring in the massive illegals, trigger the civil war, have a total societal breakdown, and then use the Rex 84 plan that Reagan set up via FEMA to control everybody. That's been in the news. So that's why this is so sophisticated. That's why this is so incredibly dangerous, is that you have all these left-wing sites saying, we're going to shoot. We played their video in an earlier report. We're going to shoot Republicans when they're at restaurants. We're not just going to boo them out of there. And you've got Brennan and all these deep state people like Clapper and the rest of them saying this is all happening. So I was sitting back looking at the calls for civil war and looking at USA Today and the New York Times admitting we're in a civil war. When I saw the globalists setting it up, saying I was a kook to cover it, now they suddenly admitted in late June 2018, as they brand, all Trump supporters are Nazis and deserve to die. Donnie Deutsch, Maxine Waters. And so I was looking at all this and their battle plan. I was so frustrated today during the 4-hour radio show that I host 11 to 3. And then I watched tonight this Mike Adams video, the Health Ranger, where he's on fire. It's 40 minutes long. I'm about to air it. You've got to watch this. And I went, oh my God. He didn't even say it, but it was like, it's Rex 84. They told Reagan that the big banks, the Ford Foundation that runs it, this has all been declassified, were planning to brainwash Latin Americans, have the universities work with them, have the left. The weathermen are on video and congressional testimony. They had this whole plan for a Red Dawn scenario. And I've even talked to the folks that were approaching Red Dawn and made that film with Reagan to counter the idea because they were so scared. We didn't know that.
Now remember, what did I tell you? July 7th. Who was Donald Trump meeting with? None other than Red Dawn himself, Russia, Vladimir Putin. What have I been telling y'all to do? Get you some food, get you some water, get you some guns. They're about to shut down the borders. Why do you think why do you think the judges just said that there's not going to be no travel ban, guys? Wake up, folks. Wake up. Wake up. Why do you think they got the military on the borders? It was all a plan to prison you. You're being prisoned, folks. You're going to be prisoned. If you keep on fighting and shooting each other, that's what I'm trying to tell you, folks. Don't shoot and fight. Let them come to you, folks. Let them come to you. You just will stay in your house because it's going to get bad. They have hired Antifas to come and destroy your family. They're going to come in there and rape you. They've hired Iran. They've hired UN. They've got Japan, China, Russia, North Korea, South Korea. Do you see why they've been training all this time? They ain't training against each other. They're training to stop your freedom because we're the only ones left that has freedom. So please, whoever you are that's watching, share the video because I'm telling you right now, you don't share, they're going to rape you. They're going to kill you. That's all I got to say. I'm going to make it. I got family in the military. We're going to beat their ass.
30 years later, they would reboot the same plan again and try it, but this time they believe they have the demographics to do it. And I'll leave it at that, but I've talked to folks involved in the production of Red Dawn. And the fact they were approached just to try to stop this. But they had no chance in 1984 to do this. They have no chance today, but they're crazy enough to do it. And so they have announced everywhere the plan to collapse the U.S. border. And then I wondered why it was on PBS, why it was on CNN, why I heard about FEMA camp plans. And, oh my God, they were going to put people in camps, just like they say, oh, these kids are in camps now. Oh, these kids are being raped. Oh, these kids are in cages. And then it's like homemade cage videos and fake videos of little kids that were with their parents and were never. That's the plan, was to bring down with a Central and South American invasion after the globalists brought down Mexico, which Obama did, and then use that to cause a civil war in the U.S. and then cause a civil emergency, just like they've done with 10 million military-aged men in Europe who were Islamic. And then I saw it. And Trump and patriots in our own government have seen this and have gotten ready. But yes, they are now implementing Rex 84, which if you read even the admissions in Reuters and everywhere else, it's like military preparing military bases for the 1,000% increase. It's 300 plus now. Collapsing Central and South America, Mexico in a deal. Let me end this. I want to air that Red Dawn piece. Never to flood us with 800 million people potentially. and you totally see it. You're like, oh my God, the left's reported on Reagan being told of this plan and Oliver North being told of this plan and all of this stuff going on. And then they just simply tried to create some plan to stop it, and now they're doing it again. So let's air so many promo pieces we've had. Let's air that promo piece that you were just showing, and then I want to air Mike Adams laying all this out, but this is it. And it doesn't mean the Rex 84 plan to resist it is good either. It just means we are in that place. The plan that the weathermen talked about with the Chi-Coms in Hollywood, everybody that they dreamed of 30 years ago, they now...
See, they're trying to bait you to fight back. Remember what Maxine Waters did? Maxine Waters wanted you to fight, wanted the Democrats to fight against the Republicans, knowing that they're all together. We found that out the other day when we took the video. I put it on my YouTube channel of her walking away, running away from a Republican reporter. And then she hid. You see where I'm coming from? That's what a puppet does. Puppet means they're trouble, folks. Do not, and I repeat, do not fall for their plan. If you do, martial law's coming, guys. You can say goodbye to your kids. You're going to be dead. They're going to a Walmart FEMA camp and they're going to be raped on a rape tree and everything else. We warned you. We put it on YouTube. We put it on Facebook. We are on fire right now and we're making everybody our bitch. So start sharing. I'm not here to make money. I'm already making enough.
Believe they're ready to launch, and that's why every TV show and every movie's anti-American, every program is anti-human, it's all anti-Christian, because this is it. So let's air that Red Dawn piece and then Mike Adams piece, because Mike is on fire, he's totally focused, he's crystal clarion, and he lays it all out. And I couldn't even go home today at like 6 o'clock. I had to come back. And I was like, I got to research what's going on. And because my gut told me, and then I'm sitting back watching this. It's not a conservative, it's a libertarian, pro-freedom guy.
Alex Jones, you've been knowing about this, you piece of shit. You're a piece of shit, sold out motherfucker.
And man, I'm seeing the left everywhere. We're going to kill you. We're coming. We're going to collapse the border. And then the multinational corporations collapse the third world. And they create climates to bring all this in. And then I just sat back, and I wasn't guilty because I'm 44 now. When I was on air, I was like 21. And I still believe the media. I was like, there are FEMA camps. There's a plan to put the immigrants in camps. There's a plan. But actually, I went back and read Rex 84. It's like, if Latin America collapses, if communists in the U.S. strike, and they bring down our borders and plan to use the collapse of Latin America to overwhelm the U.S., we'll establish military bases, and we will stop the people coming in, and we will repatriate them or take people that are patriots in. And I sat back, and it was like full circle everything. And I said to myself when I called Dew like 3 hours ago, I said, it was like 6:37 at night, I said, I'm coming in. It's all clear now. And by the time I got here, we're like all getting emails and texts, we're going to kill you. And they were sending us videos of Nazis from The Great Escape being shot, and we're not the Nazis, we're the patriots. So here's the thing, this is stunted, this is stupid, this is dumb. The average Latin American coming in is not a bad person. So none of this is going to work the way they want, but we are witnessing decades and 100 years of weird communist thought on universities and their will to dominate America and use it for their global power. We're witnessing that all coming down. So here's the Red Dawn piece we put out 4 years ago. And then here is the 40-minute piece by Mike Adams that when I watched it, it was one of the most cogent, thought out, on target, clear pieces of news I've ever seen. Because here's my problem. I get so caught up in all the data and just all of it coming in that I just go, what the hell? But then I was sitting there really upset tonight at home, like, what's going on? This is incredible. And then he sent me that video. I'd said post it. They hadn't posted it. I watched it, and it all crystallized.
What's going on? 9/11? That's what's going on. Trump did 9/11, Alex Jones. You just now figuring it out, you dumb son of a bitch? He knows he's about to go down by the Americans, and they know that what his plan was to get rich with the Clintons. It's no joke, folks. It's no joke. Thanks for the 3 likes, but I'm telling you right now, shit's hitting the fan. If you just joined us, Rex 84, martial law has been signed by yours truly, Donald Trump. Your favorite president of the United States of America. You thought Obama was bad? Trump is worse. They both are. They've both been working together. They might be puppets, but they could have stood up against them. No, they didn't want to do that. They were too scared. These are the same people that killed Chester Bennington. These are the same people that molested these kids. These are the same people that killed 9/11. They're the ones that's ruining Hawaii right now. They're the ones that's ruining California right now. They're the ones that's ruining Texas right now. Florida. People need to wake up now. When you don't say anything, that tells me right now that you're a coward and you're not here. You're not worried about it because you don't care. Or you must be from another country, which I understand. You're getting the crap beat out of you, out of all these other people. They're not showing what they are showing on the news over there. Y'all are opening up and y'all are waking up everybody. And the Americans are asleep because they're keeping it away from us. Oh, this guy resigned yesterday. Breaking news. This old man resigned because he's got AIDS. Who cares? He's a pedophile. Okay? It's JFK's family. They're all idiots. I'm sorry to break the news to you. I don't have nothing for these government political bullshit. When somebody comes to me, I walked up in Walmart the other day, and this person says, "You are Obama or Trump fan?" I said, "I'm neither one of them because they're both puppets, dumbass. They're both puppets to the idiots, to the bankers." He said, "I never heard that one before. I thought you was about to say you were a Trump fan." I said, "No, none. They're all 9/11 idiots. All of them, folks. All of them." Alex Jones knew what was going on. He knew. Dabo 7 knew. Dabo 777 knew about it. All these big channels, BP Earthwatch knew about it. They're all Freemasons. All of these guys that's got big subscribers are Freemasons, and they're buying their own YouTube subscribers. Did you know you can go and get off the next day and buy some more YouTube subscribers? I didn't know that. I get this information from ex-CIA Kevin Ship. He gives me 50 of them to start, just in case they cut me off, because I got to keep on going. I got to keep on going, folks. You see why my name is NWO? You remember Scorpion Death Drop, the NWO? Think about it, folks. And then I couldn't put peace in there because they wouldn't let me spell it the right way. They was like, "Hey, you don't know how to spell." I said, "No, YouTube don't know how to spell." That's the way I look at it, folks. Melody, thank you for all the work you have done. You've watched every video and you've put it on your list, and you have somehow tagged me in on the bottom of my YouTube channel. If you know how to do that, please tell me, because I'd like to somehow connect this channel to my channel somehow. because we got to get the word out. We got to get the word out, folks. We have got to get the word out. We have got to step on it like nobody's ever stepped on it. And I'm passing Bill Elliott in the grass right now. I'm passing every idiot that told me I was wrong. I'm passing my family. I'm passing my aunt. I'm passing my cousins. I'm passing them all. I'm making them think and wake up. So you don't understand, folks. You don't understand. And my aunt should have understood, but I guess you forgot that my grandfather fought for World War II, and believe it or not, it was the Nazis. So y'all need to wake up, folks. Y'all need to wake up. It happened in World War II. Now it's going to happen again? Who just wrote something to me? Well, you better wake them up. Give them my video and you tell them what's going on, man. Seriously. This is a national emergency right now. I have been unable to say anything till now. Only when lights flash in the middle of my screen. Thank you. You're welcome. Hey, Carson, do me a favor, okay? I don't think you understand. Don't say anything spiritual. They're cutting people off. I'm talking about everything, Carson. I'm talking about everything. Rex 84 has been signed and delivered by Trump. But guess who signed the executive order on if there's a catastrophe happening in the United States? That was Obama. So black, white, Hispanic. If you believe in Obama, you're an idiot. If you believe in Trump, you're an idiot. If you believe in the government, you're an idiot. Everything, and if you have been getting food stamps and you've been getting Medicaid from the government and you've been getting government housing, you're dead. That's all I got to say. I haven't. I haven't for a while. Get rid of it. Find you another way to do it and get rid of it. And if you got a red or pink dot on your mailbox, move the fuck out. Move the fuck out and let me help you out. Get you a P.O. box. Get you a P.O. box. Okay? P.O. box. Do not use the mailbox anymore. Period. I'm just helping you out because I care. I haven't had mail come to my house in years. Because I know what was coming. My grandfather was telling me what was coming. He was telling me, he said, I'm going to die losing my wife. But I want to tell you something, son. He said, it's about to get bad. I feel it. Obama's not no good. He said, he said, I've been a Democrat all my life. He said, I want you to understand this, son. I want you to fight for me and for the people that fought for this country. And I was like, God, darn, that's big words. And I just cried my eyes out. I cried my eyes out at the funeral. I had a person come to me a couple of years ago. His name's Gene Flack. He's the one that wanted me to join the Marines militia. I grew up with him in high school. And actually in the neighborhood in Adamsville. And he's the one that got me with the ex-CIA and the ex-NSA. I had no idea they were out there, folks. If it wasn't for Gene Flack, and if you're out there, I know you're watching, and I know you're not going to respond because you're watching everything I'm doing. I hope I'm doing a good job. I hope I'm moving people and telling them know what's going on. All these big channels are not. They're not telling you how I'm telling it. They're not telling you that it's man-made. BP Earthwatch is not even saying it's man-made. The other guy, Paul Begley's not even talking about it, folks. So please understand this. When I tell you what's about to happen, 4th of July, you're going to have the signs of the pet goat show, movie, whatever. I haven't seen it. I've just seen some of it. And they were showing me what the plan was. They're just giving you signs that it's about to start, folks. Y'all don't understand. Obama tweeted out, he's coming after your guns by Christmas. The gun confiscation is first. And then martial law. We've got 23 months and 1 week left. Is what I'm finding out. 18 to 23 months. Maybe 17 months to 23. Did y'all see the moon last night? Holy cow. That was bright. That was a bright, bright moon, folks. I was like, wow. Are you kidding me? That just blew me away. And I want to be honest with you, folks. These moons are the signs. The signs. And they make these moons and these lights and everything on these moons ricocheting from the satellites that they have. Y'all don't understand. The blood blue moon that y'all seen was blue beam. Everything you're seeing right now is blue beam. You're not seeing the signs that God is doing right now because His is in disguise. You will know it's Him. It won't be missiles, I promise you. It won't be missiles. It'll be fire. He'll be coming back with fire. And it will be fireballs. Great balls of fire. Holy crap. Anybody know that song? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. We're going to be singing that song when He comes. But I think half of us will be dead because y'all are not going to be fighting. But this is what you need to do, okay, folks? They're already putting a law in play in the state of Alabama. If you do not have an underground facility, get you one. Make you one. Get your backhoe. Rent your backhoe. You don't have any money, you need to get off the drugs. They're not letting you pass the drug test because you're not getting a job because you haven't passed the drug test. That's what it's going on. And if you're injured, you're screwed. Like me. I'm just here because I care. I just wondered how many people would understand my reverse psychology. Not that many. I was expecting to see a lot more people subscribed and like and sharing my stuff. I'm in shock, really. I'm in shock that you believe in Dr. B. Waco's crap, and I'm in shock that you believe in Dustin McGee's crap when we've already seen his signs. And if I threaten anybody online, I'm going to tell you I did. But the editing that they're doing on the videos, not my voice. You got to remember, I had a brother that played this game, and he sounds just like me. Y'all have heard him on the YouTube channel before. He just walks in and says something. He walked in a couple of weeks ago and said, "Hey, can I borrow your pen?" Yeah, here you go. He was looking for crayons for his daughter. He sounds just like me. He looks just like me. The only thing you would see the difference of me and him is he's on drugs and I'm not, and I've got dirty blonde hair and he's got blonde hair. We're about the same size. We're tall, skinny. Stay at us. We just don't. I don't eat a lot because I don't like the foods that's out there. I eat nutritious foods, salads and stuff like that. Sorry, I don't eat peanut butter crackers. Sorry, dumbass. the one that said that I ate peanut butter crackers. You must be referring to my aunt, because that's all she eats is peanut butter crackers and milk. And that just, disgusting. That makes you sick. That'll make your stomach hurt and everything else. But this is what's happening. Rex 84 is being signed, sealed, and delivered. That came in from Ronald Reagan. Then Obama signed the other executive order. It's all tied up from every president. It's a step. Every time there's a step. And the reason they didn't do it in the 80s or in the 90s is because the microchip hasn't been come in yet. George Soros' Hitler plan. That's right. It's for you to lose your freedom. They're jealous of your freedom. Let me tell you something. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to fight back? Or are you going to take that MK Ultra chip that the stupid Hollywood stars are looking like Matrix? Or some kind of... I don't know how you... I don't know how to explain it, folks. If you're an Illuminati fan, you're dead. If you don't got a lot of money in your bank account, you're dead. If you're not rich, you're dead. I just want to let you know that the ones that's been putting Illuminati signs on your Facebook, you dumbass, you look like you don't even got money. The people are idiots. If you sit there and act like one of them, they're going to kill you first. Because you don't have money. You've got counterfeit money. The gangs that's got counterfeit money, you're first. They're going to kill you first, man. I just want to let you know that. The gangs are going to die first. They're going to take out the Mexicans. They've already did that. They did that during the Hurricane Harvey situation and the Irma and all the hurricanes last year. That was the illegal immigrant plan. This time, this is the American plan. The low class goes first. Then the medium. The high class stays. Do y'all not see the plan? Do y'all not see that it doesn't matter if you work for them or not, they're going to kill you? Just like the Joker said in the movie. Who killed the bus driver? I'm going to keep on saying that. I'm going to keep on saying that. Kevin Ship told me to tell you this. You need to start sharing if you care about your family, because your family is about to be terrorized worse than ever. Remember, the UN are still here and they have AIDS. Every one of them's got some kind of disease. A lot of them's got Ebola. I thought you might want to know that. So let me say it in a way that the women and the kids might start fighting back. Because down south, our kids are starting to shoot. They're starting to practice gun shooting and everything. What are you going to do if a UN comes in there and rapes your kid? What you going to do? What you going to do? You got a plan? They're going to beat your kid in the head. They're going to turn around, choke you out, kill you in front of them. You want that? Huh? You want that? I'm not here to play nice no more. Thank you for the ones that have subscribed. 90 subscribers. Thank you. Appreciate that. If I add it up, I've got about 5,000 subscribers on all 4 of my channels. Thank you, everyone. And I'm not getting paid for it. This is for freedom, folks. I'm getting paid, but it ain't from YouTube. I'm getting paid from other people. And I'm going to be honest with you. My payment is to know that you've been deceived. Delusion in the Bible is Donald Trump. The gay president is in the Bible. That's Obama. Okay? We got a lady coming in. She's going to take out her whole family, folks. Ivanka Trump's going to take out Donald Trump. Jared Kushner. Okay? I thought you might want to know that. They're talking about impeachment to Trump, and they're talking about martial law to you. Who do you think's going to win, folks? I know the 9/11 plot. This is 9/11 Part 2. And it's worse than 9/11. North Korea said it was going to be worse than 9/11. If you've forgotten what he said, and by the way, if you haven't seen the video again, North Korea changed pins on him. What does that mean? Well, ex-CIA tells me that he don't use his own pen, or he don't use their own pen. They were going to try to put a plot in there to get his fingerprints. See where I'm coming from? He used his own pen, and his sister gave it to him. So, let's see here. What you got there? No. I haven't. Weird, ain't it? I don't think he's getting arrested. And if he gets arrested, he's going underground, just like all the pedophiles. That's their arrest. Just like Subway, Eat Fresh. He's not in prison. Have y'all heard anything about him? Have you heard about Dylan? Dylan the roofer? He lost his job, by the way. He went in there and shot the boss up that was at church. It wasn't nothing about rebel flags. He didn't even have a rebel flag in his bedroom, folks. They pasted a rebel flag on some drumsticks. Yes, they photoshopped it. I don't even know how to do all that. That's I'll let the computer do all that. I'm good at art, doing my game designs and everything, but that's about it. But no, I have not heard anything about Pope Francis. I think it was a freaking hoax. Like I said, not everything is real. Hold on. Wait a minute. We're going live. Kevin Ship is here on live. How about this? He's got something to say about this. I knew it was gonna get big, folks. Yeah, it's gonna get big. Here we go. Check this out, folks.
The senior management, anything.
Okay, yeah, check this out. Holy cow. Yeah, enjoy.
Many different things about it, and then even now when I talk to friends, people who are on the Democrat side of this argument feel like the IG report says the FBI did a pretty good job. Yeah. But I don't know. As I mentioned about IGs, you got to remember it's a DOJ IG who works for the DOJ. There's a conflict of interest right there. CIA and other IGs are made up by careerists of that agency. Yeah. So do you think you're going to get an objective report? Absolutely not. I mean, why do they do that? Shouldn't there be some outside person, some senator, some congressperson or something? Like, why would it seems so obvious even to a lay person that if you go and get somebody out of the ranks of the CIA, everybody that they're evaluating are their friends, their co-workers. Yeah, right, their bosses in some cases. Right. And the only reason my case about the vulnerability in the computer system really went up there was because I went outside to an external IG that the CIA had no control over. Otherwise, we saw they shut it down, destroyed the documents and everything, and it was I went to an outside party that we got something done. Mm-hmm. So agency, the way that they're set up is kind of bogus. It gives the appearance that there's been an investigation, but there's no real investigation. Well, even what we're seeing this morning, the testimony of Christopher Wray and Rod Rosenstein. Right.
What I just said. What did I just say about there was no real investigation on anything? He just said it. No investigation on pedophilia. No investigation on Russian collusion. Y'all are all been played. They are the game and they're playing you like Triple H.
You know, I think Trey Gowdy and Mr. Jordan from Ohio, they were on fire. I mean, they were grilling those guys. But in the end, it's just a dog and pony show, isn't it? What's going to come out of that? Right. And when I give my talk on a shadow government, I get into how they manipulate Congress. These are show
They're basically show hearings, and you hear these great orations, and they are great by Gowdy and others, but if you notice, nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
Because these agencies, the FBI, the CIA, and the NSA, specifically the shadow government secret agencies, are controlling this whole process behind the scenes. And these congressmen and senators, they know ahead of time it's not going to go anywhere because they can't pierce down through the layers to where the CIA is specifically operating beyond the law. They can't get down that far because they don't have the clearance. They're blocked. The documents are blacked out. And that's how the shadow government operates. So you never see these hearings go anywhere. And they're addressing some pretty serious legal constitutional issues.
I mean, even someone like Jim Jordan, who by all measures seems like an extremely powerful voice for the people of Ohio, people of the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems like, I don't know if he's a lawyer, but he seems like a real good lawyer. He's there. But Rod Rosenstein, he's answering with a lot of confidence that leads me to, he doesn't look nervous at all.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things I had somebody ask me in a speech one time, so what does it take to be good at the CIA, in this case the FBI? And my response was, well, if you're a narcissist, you'll shoot right up to the upper levels of management. And these people, we're seeing now in the they're narcissists. I mean, they really believe that they're at the top of intellectual evolution and smarter than the average moron down the line. They really think that way, and that's why they're so cocky and confident in these hearings. They really believe that. When Rosenstein is withholding documents from the intel committees, he's on the verge of being impeached right now.
Rosenstein,
Yes, and he has gone so far as to threaten the Intelligence Committee, saying, if you keep this up, we're going to investigate you, and we're going to subpoena the congressman. Now, Congress is their boss. That is the shadow government out of control, threatening the constitutionally elected body representing the people. That's how bad it's gotten.
And you've done a very good job of basically defining the deep state separately from the shadow government.
Yeah.
Give us that again real quick to clarify.
And I have a lot of regard and support for people that come out and call it the deep state as kind of an umbrella term. I know that Dr. Corsi wrote a great book called Killing the Deep State, which I'd highly recommend because he really nails it. Having come from inside, from the shadow government, in my view, there are two entities there. One is the shadow government, which are the secret intelligence agencies that operate under their own set of rules. They have the unbridled power of secrecy. Then you have the deep state, which is all the military-industrial contractors, the intelligence contractors, the foreign lobbyists, the Federal Reserve, the IMF, the World Bank. It's kind of the money, power, and greed system that does influence Congress through money and lobbying and donors and things like that. The secret shadow government manipulates and controls the deep state through the use of secrecy oaths that they'll put intelligence contractors and their employees under. So they manipulate them, and if they see anything illegal that the CIA, the NSA, or the FBI are doing, they're bound by a secrecy oath, and if they violate that for any reason, they can be criminally penalized, essentially go to prison. So no one is going to say anything. It will result in the destruction of them financially. They will lose their job and in some cases go to prison. So everybody stays quiet. And that's how they manipulate the workforce.
So the deep state is essentially this military-industrial complex that President Eisenhower warned us about. And even at that time, Eisenhower could not have foreseen the rise of the technocratic aspect of that Brzezinski foresaw in the 70s, and that we all live in right now through Facebook and Google and cell phones that track us everywhere we go. So we've got this sort of business entity that's selling oil and poisonous food to everyone here in the United States. They're selling airplanes and missiles and avionics technology throughout the world. Then we've got the shadow government that is the CIA, and frankly, it seems like even the State Department, particularly under Mrs. Clinton. Talk about that a bit. How does that whole Clinton State Department tie the deep state and the shadow government together, and what can we expect to see if these IG reports will get us nowhere?
That is remarkable, because what the IG report ignored is criminal activity on the part of felonies on the part of these people. And the chilling thing about Hillary Clinton is her connection to the shadow government specifically goes all the way back when she was First Lady, and her husband, Bill Clinton, had top secret CIA information, and she was illegally given access to that, and then eventually gained access as Secretary of State, and then instituted this crazy secret server, which we now know was connected to the Clinton Foundation. A lot of the business that she was doing on that server involved Clinton Foundation fraud, Uranium One.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole. What people don't know is Uranium One was a way for her to launder money because it was foreign. It was foreign donations. It couldn't be FOI aid. Congress couldn't subpoena anything, and that was part of why uranium was done by the Clinton Foundation.
Well, let me ask you something specific about that. We were talking with Larry Nichols just the other day, and Larry had said that he felt that Obama's plan to send $130 billion in cash to Iran somehow got redirected to Russia for the purchase of Uranium One. And of course, we've all seen that New York Times article about how cash flowed to the Clinton Foundation while that uranium. So is that true? Did this cash to Iran somehow go to the Clinton Foundation?
I didn't. The cash to Iran, which was laundered money, it was done in non-U.S. currency. It was illegal to give any money to Iran U.S. dollars. So what Obama did was he laundered that in foreign currency, thinking even though he was breaking federal law, he laundered the money to do it, if you can imagine that. The money that went into the Clinton, I know, it's like, how bad can it get? But the money that went into the Clinton Foundation came directly from Rosatom and the Uranium One stockholders. That was laundered through a foundation directly into the Clinton Foundation. Didn't go through Iran. Came directly from Russia and the Russian Rosatom Corporation into the Clinton Foundation. I think it was 154 million, and over 4 years, Hillary Clinton, with foreign money, she drummed up about $4 billion through the Uranium One deal that went towards her campaign for presidency from Russian money.
Wow. So you don't feel that Iranian cash payment had anything to do with that?
No.
Got it. Got it. I mean, it's astounding to hear this sort of thing. And then, so the whole Russia meddling, I mean, everything that Mueller has been spinning his wheels about and burning all the time and millions of dollars. Do you feel like Carter Page had anything to, what is his role in all of this?
No, Carter Page was an FBI informant against Russia. That's his original interaction with the government, was recruited by the FBI and was reporting on Russia. That was Carter Page's relationship with the government. So he was already in a relationship with the FBI.
Did he come out of Naval Intelligence or something like that?
I'm not sure.
He's in the Navy Academy and all that?
Probably, because that's how they do it. That's a big recruiting ground. Bob Woodward came out of Naval Intelligence and had a top secret clearance, that's a whole other part of his background. But so it's a prime recruiting ground. So Carter Page was already an informant for the government, and when this sham was set up, including with Alexander Downer, the Australian ambassador.
You're talking about the dossier sham.
The dossier, yes, and the Russian collusion. Even the Russian collusion investigation started with a false setup with Alexander Downer and George Papadopoulos, who didn't say anything, but they used that to initiate the Russian collusion investigation, all based on an absolute fraud. And essentially, it was a sting operation. It was a setup.
And Charles Ortel has spoken quite a bit about how it seems rather absurd on the face of it that this guy, George Papadopoulos, who is kind of a young, not that connected guy, is having drinks with Alexander Downer, who was the Australian ambassador to the UK. Was he the prime minister at the time of Australia? Downer, he was the
ambassador to the U.S. And he contributed $24 million of Australian taxpayer dollars into
the Clinton Foundation.
Right. And he wound up being the asset that they used to set up Papadopoulos, who never admitted that the Trump campaign had emails. He never said that, but that's what Downer reported back because it was a setup, and they were using Downer, a Clinton Foundation donor. They're using Downer as part of the entrapment to get this whole Russian collusion thing going.
It's so many facts and details. It's really quite difficult for the average person to keep it straight in their head. And then I'm talking to so many different people who know so many different facts about various aspects of this. When I think about going back to the original relationship that the Clintons would have had with the CIA when Bill was the state attorney general in Arkansas, or was he already governor when the relationship at Mena Airport
began? He was governor when that started, yes. And a lot of people know this, a lot of people do not. Bill Clinton was connected directly with George H.W. Bush in the MENA operation and Iran-Contra, which would mean that they would have had to read Bill Clinton in, and he would sign a CIA secrecy oath and be bound to the CIA and the Bush administration from that point forward as that operation in Iran-Contra and the drug running went back and forth. And that's why you see Bill Clinton and previously George H.W. Bush, political arch enemies, are now the best friends in the
But
world.
wasn't that always fake, that they were political arch enemies?
Yeah. They were tied in both with government clearances, both with the MENA operation. Behind the scenes, they were operational buddies. They just made themselves look like, as both parties often do, opposition when they're basically one and the same.
I voted for Ross Perot.
Did you? Yeah.
And he had to scare them at that time because you didn't have the internet, and he just basically went on TV with a bunch of cards and talked about slow dance. And,
right.
He got like 19% of the vote.
He's the reason Bill Clinton got elected, because Bill Clinton was not getting the majority of the vote, and had Perot never got in, Clinton would not have won. Plus he was taking money from the Chinese government. But anyway,
Bill Clinton was.
In his re-election. Second re-election, yes.
But that's what I was getting at, is that we've got Bush running against Clinton, but yet they're buddies. They're working the same operation. It doesn't matter who
Welcome
wins.
to the shadow government deep state. Right.
This is how they guarantee a victory, is to control both sides of the conflict.
Yeah.
They don't seem to have a lot of original ideas. We see them doing the same sorts of things that you've spoken about quite extensively in your book and your previous interviews, how they're entrapping people, they're setting people up, they're trying to create these situations where whichever way you turn, you're doing something illegal. As you said, they give you this gag order that's totally redacted, and then of course if you went and did something that was spoken about in that gag order, they'd bust it out in court. They exercise lawfare, as you've spoken about quite extensively.
That's how they do it. And their favorite entrapment charge is lying to investigators. And if you look at Manafort, Papadopoulos, Gates, all of them were hit with what? Lying to investigators. But when Andrew McCabe lied 4 times, two times under oath, they called that lack of candor.
Right.
So, so they protect.
Who just said that? Y'all gotta stop with the spiritual stuff. They're gonna kick you off, Carson. You don't understand. I think they got Amy on my other channel. I don't know if they got her on this one, but they got her on the other one. So just be careful what you're saying, okay? I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what they have told me to warn you about, which I noticed a lot of people don't listen on my channel, and it's okay. I had 3 likes, and then now there's only 2. Hey, that's okay. You want to play games? That's fine. That's fine. If you're not noticed, I know who likes and dislikes, and they get kicked off and blocked. So you decide what you want to do. I've got a new plan coming in play that you won't be watching my videos unless you subscribe. That is how you do it. I've got it planned. Thanks to Kevin Shipp that you were just listening to.
Their own and hit everybody else. If they come to you and I and they say, "What did you do in April of 2015?" Well, I was out, at doing a tailgate party at the Coliseum. Then they come back 3 months later and they say, "What were you doing on April the 15th?" Well, geez, I think I was with some guys at their house partying. You just lied to investigators, bud. You're looking at 10 years in jail. So unless we flip you on your buddy, you're in jail. That's a favorite tactic the FBI has used, and we can see them using it blatantly right out now. When they can't find any evidence of the crime, that's where they'll go.
Yeah, they just make up evidence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's absolute abuse of power.
Yeah, and they're doing it to citizens, they're doing it to journalists, they're doing it to anyone that gets in their way, and they seem to operate with impunity. You've said in previous interviews, Kevin, that the CIA was formed outside of the Constitution, that Truman himself regretted the formation of the CIA. It's a rogue agency at this point. It's really not a friend to the people of the United States, the government of the United States. It literally is a cancer on the country. What can be done?
Well, and the CIA, when it was created by Truman, it was never given the authority for covert operations. both inside and outside the United States. Never. That's worded nowhere in the document.
Right.
And yet they took on by deference, with no restrictions whatsoever, the ability to engage in covert operations to the tune of billions of dollars. And that's when Truman came out, called it a mysterious and sinister agency that was casting a shadow on our historic position of freedom. And he regretted, this is just 4 years after its creation, he regretted it ever being formed because it was out of control, and it is out of control now.
Yeah, and you and I, of course, have spoken about President Kennedy, how we share the belief that he was assassinated in large part by the CIA with the help from various others. Of course, Kennedy famously said, the very word secrecy is repugnant to a free and open society, but we haven't really advanced. As a matter of fact, it would seem that the shadow government and the deep state have made great strides since then, and the average person in the United States is losing their voice, losing their financial power, losing their ability to be protected from any of these things. Since September 11th, our constitutional rights have been stripped away. Right now, I feel like we are in the moment where people are becoming aware of this. We're seeing more through these IG hearings just about the way these individuals operate.
Yes,
and I think every day light bulbs are going on as people wake up to this.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And, I'm probably the only that I know of CIA officer that has come out and said that I think the evidence is strong that the CIA was directly involved in the Kennedy assassination and at the very least involved in the cover-up. Alan Dulles, who Kennedy fired, his archenemy, had created a cabal of senior CIA officers to fight against Kennedy's policies. When he fired Alan Dulles, who was connected to the Third Reich and Nazi Germany and had friends in the Third Reich, when he was fired by Kennedy, after Kennedy was assassinated, guess who they put in charge of the Warren Commission? Alan Dulles, who controlled the witnesses. The CIA coached them, told them which CIA witnesses would be on and which wouldn't, and controlled the whole investigation. It's out there. People can research it. There's no question about it.
Are you amazed that to this day so many people still have a difficult time believing this and think that guys like you and I who talk about this on a video broadcast are conspiracy theorists?
Well, we know that the term conspiracy theory was invented by the CIA for the Kennedy
I've heard it was weaponized by the CIA.
There's even a memo that was leaked through FOIA where the CIA said if they bring up the CIA's role or allege it, then just call it a conspiracy theory. And so now that's a label that people throw out on legitimate investigations when the facts and the evidence are there concretely. Not just that, but I'll go a little bit further. The Robert F. Kennedy shooting also has the same markers of evidence destroyed and things like that. And it turns out the LAPD who destroyed evidence were trained by, guess who? The CIA.
Wow.
And they're off the books counterintelligence terrorism operations. So the evidence there. And to answer your question, it is hard for Americans to make the psychological leap that their government would actually do something like this. Most people can't go there, because to go there you step over the line, and you have to admit that our government would actually assassinate its own president and some of the other false flag Operation Gladio. You cross over that line and you never go back. You can't ever trust what the government says fully again. You have to vet everything, because anyway, most people they can't make that.
Well, you're literally through the looking glass once that happens.
That's right. They leave their security and
But that's the starting point where you could start to appreciate and absorb what is actually going on, or even scratching the surface of what's actually going on. And we see they're going absolutely crazy since Trump became president, because they're in, this is end game mode for them. It's do or die.
Absolutely. And as I often say, this is not about Donald Trump the man. This is about Donald Trump, the out-of-box, shockingly elected, unpredictable candidate who was even ostracized by the New York elite. He can't be bought. They can't pay him. He can't be blackmailed. He is so out of the box, the shadow government can't control him. And because of that, you got Michael Hayden, you got Clapper, you got Brennan, all coming out fighting against him. CIA directors don't do this. They don't come out and malign a president. They just don't do it. Yeah. And they're coming out and they're slandering and defaming him, and there's an entire move to remove him from office. Why? Because the shadow government fears exposure. And the CIA specifically, had a lot of skeletons in the closet, man. And if Trump and company are really to go in and investigate some of the things the agency has done, they would shut that place down and fumigate the hallways.
Right. Give us some of your insights with regard to how Donald Trump has behaved as president toward the CIA. His first public speech was right there at the CIA. He put in Mike Pompeo, and then in a surprise move, Pompeo is now the Secretary of State. I feel they're making great strides in North Korea.
Yeah.
We've got, I forget her name, the new CIA director. Talk about all of this if you could.
Yeah, and I have a pretty high regard for Mike Pompeo. And when he was put in as CIA director, I told my wife he's not going to last long because he appears to be an honest man by all accounts, even going back to his support of the Tea Party. It appears to be a sincere guy. And now, I know, having seen this, I was on the director's staff, that some of the high officers in the director of operations will lie.
Yeah, what I found out is it was a hoax. The Q said something about it. After that happened, the next day, the judge resigned. So there you have it. I think that was a sign to tell you that they're going to start shutting down airplanes, and you heard what the Congress said on the the travel ban. So that's all I can say right now. We're on a witch hunt right now, folks. We're chasing skeletons. If that makes any sense. We're chasing their skeletons in the closet, and I think we're chasing ourselves right into a trap, and that's what I see. People are not listening to what I'm saying or what Kevin Shipp is saying. He's trying to be the good guy with Trump, knowing that Trump is one of the problems. If you did not know this, their plan was to take down the government, take down the 9/11 buildings, take down the freedom, and then turn around and take down your livelihood. And that's what their plan is. If you did not know this, Trump is from Scotland. He's not from the United States.
To the director. I mean, they're not going to, a director's not going to, it's like Mother Teresa being appointed over a mafia cell. They're not going to come and say, well, we bumped off, Bongo a year ago. Just want to let you know, the director of operations is not going to come and tell the director something's going to get him thrown in jail.
Right.
And I told my wife, I said, Pompeo's not going to last long. They're not going to let him see the dirt. There's articles out there now that we know that CIA was actually watching Pompeo, its own director, afraid that Trump was going to have him start digging.
Well, that's it. Was he man inside the CIA? That was the idea.
And my conjecture is that Pompeo finally went to Trump and said, I can't do this. This is dirty. And I just can't do this. I think that's what happened. He moved him to Secretary of State, where I think he's a beautiful fit. We see this historical thing with North Korea occurring, and I think some of the international community owe Donald Trump an apology, because this sort of thing has never been done with North Korea, even so far. We don't know where it's going to turn, but so far, having North and South Korea shake hands across the demilitarized zone, so there's defunding the UNs. Some of us have been, waiting for that for decades, and that's happening.
If you haven't seen my video of 2022 of South Korea and North Korea shaking hands, you might want to go look at it. After that happens, gas prices go up, and then 2022 will be ugly for everyone. It'll be World War III.
And so a lot of really fantastic things are going on by Trump, the out-of-the-box man. And I'm telling you, the deep state, the shadow government, and the swamp are afraid of him, because he's starting to shake things up big time, and that includes the CIA.
He just seems so effective. I mean, people can agree or disagree with what he does, but there's this kerfuffle over the way in which which enforcement was happening at the border, children being separated from parents. Obviously, you put that on the news, and on the face of it, we don't want to separate children from parents, but are these actually the parents of these children?
Right.
What happens to children when they're incarcerated in a cell with adults?
Right.
There's a lot of complicated problems there, but from my view, it seems like it came up, and within days, Trump did what he could do, executive order. I feel like every other president ever, that would be something we'd be arguing about for 2 years, and then eventually nothing would happen. Here,
well, yeah, and this separating the children from their families is not as simple as they're making it out to be. That started under Barack Obama.
right.
And a lot of the children, they were being protected by being separated, not being hurt. A lot of times, it was either not their parent, they were trafficked,
Right.
or their parent was arrested for some crime, and they were putting the kids in there to try to take care of the kids. And then you see this ridiculous Time magazine cover that just came out. You know, this shows you how distrustful the media has become, that cover. Because you got Donald Trump and this little kid crying, looking up at him. Turns out that little kid in reality was looking at a border patrol agent while they had his mother up against car. They were arresting them both. She had left her husband down in Central America, just left him and left their other three kids. Kidnapped her child. They both were taken in custody together. They were never separated, and they're together to this day. So for the Time magazine to print that bold-faced lie was not only a deception, it was a deflection from what's about to happen to the FBI, senior FBI leadership, and there's going to maybe be some charges against some of these bureau people, and that article is a deflection. Bring up immigration. Let's forget about some of these FBI people going to be charged for felonies. Let's talk about immigration, and that's what I think part of what that was.
Have we ever seen that before? Top-ranking FBI officials charged with felonies? I can't recall.
And I've had time. Never, because they've gotten away with this. Abuse of power goes back over 20 years, both there and the CIA. They have been doing this. Classic example, Robert Mueller, you know, the completely squeaky clean public defender.
Right.
Robert Mueller was making $3.5 million a year before he came on as special prosecutor, and he took a pay cut. Now he's making $166,000 a year. What a hero! While he was busting people, making a fraction of his income, entrapping them, putting them in prison. And I guarantee you, just watch, when Mueller leaves the special prosecutor, which hopefully will be soon, he's going to be tagging down a $7 million job in some skid grease law firm. Sir, mark my words.
Well, I'm sure he also did quite well with his courier job bringing uranium to Russia. I mean, that's so bizarre. I was listening earlier today to the hearings, and I forget exactly who it was, but some Democratic congressman who said nothing of substance was waxing poetic about what a great patriot Robert Mueller was. He went to Vietnam, and obviously anyone who's going to make that sacrifice of themselves to go into war, it's very brave, but there are a lot of people who have come out of wars who maybe have gone on to do crimes, and I don't think that we can look at someone's military record as this absolution of any future wrongdoing.
Well, the question is, what did he do in Vietnam? Was he an officer sitting behind a desk while the other guys went out and got slaughtered?
Or was he stuffing dead bodies with heroin?
Yeah, or was he like a John Kerry type? You know, I'd like to know what he was doing in Vietnam, because that's a card a lot of these people play. But when you look at Robert Mueller, the man, he violated the Fourth Amendment after 9/11 with national security letters and warrantless searches, which he misrepresented under oath 3 times to Congress. First said, well, it's only 47 times. They said, no, we got information that's more. They got him up to 2,000. He said, well, that's all. Finally, they got him up to 4,000. And then they asked, okay, Director Mueller, since you're in charge of this program, exactly how many times did the FBI break into Americans' home without a warrant? And if you can imagine, his response was, well, I don't really remember. And they left it at that. End of hearing.
Well, and also one of the things he did that I object to tremendously is this, he participated in the cover-up of this memo about the 28-page, or the report itself, the 28-page Senate Intelligence Committee report from Senator Bob Graham. I mean, Mueller was deeply involved in the cover-up of 9/11.
Yeah, and deeply involved in Uranium One. When Uranium One happened, Robert Mueller was conducting he was leading a counterintelligence investigation against Russian operations inside the United States, and specifically targeting the Clintons. Robert Mueller ran that investigation. He ignored the Clintons' contact with Russia, Russian nuclear officials, Russian intelligence agents. He was in charge of the counterintelligence, and he looked the other way and approved the deal when he knew darn well that Russia was in doing operations specifically against the Clintons and Uranium One. I think he's culpable just for that alone.
And doesn't it seem like the FBI and the CIA have become the private protection agencies, essentially for the Clinton Foundation, which seems to be this master money laundering scheme initially hatched by H.W. Bush, anointed Bill Clinton to do this whole thing, and now as he's about to die, H.W., they're sort of passing the baton to Bill and Hillary, and it seems to me that all the Rod Rosensteins, all the Bob Muellers, all of the Andrew McCabe's, James Comey's, these are the guys that are scrambling to protect their pile, because if Trump wins, these guys are all going away.
Oh yeah, and maybe some of them are going to jail.
Well, I can kind of brief it for you. Donald Trump signed Rex 84. And if you don't know what that is, it's martial law. Just like I predicted. Just like I said was going to happen. Another thing, have you ever seen the movie Pet Goats? It's a cartoon. Go look at it. July 4th. Donald Trump has ordered a military parade in Washington, D.C. with tanks. Guess what? It's in the movie. And guess what? That's the same book that George W. Bush was reading to them kids in Florida when the 9/11 buildings went down. So, what I would say is, I told you so. Oh, by the way, if you don't know who that is talking, that's my boss, ex-CIA, Kevin Shipp.
And the ironic thing is, the Clinton Foundation is an international crime syndicate.
Yes.
Yes, it's involved in international charity fraud, but it is a criminal syndicate. And you look at the number of people that are protecting Hillary Clinton to the point of lying under oath. These are senior FBI people. This is James Comey, who covered up an espionage investigation of Hillary Clinton, which when I was in counterintelligence, that would have been the biggest fish we had. People that did 1/10 of what she did went to prison for 10 and 20 years.
Yeah.
And Comey, this is felonious obstruction of justice that Comey did to protect Clinton.
Hey,
and if it
do me
goes
a
far
favor.
enough, Comey knows.
Do me a big favor for me. Share this for me. I can't do it live, but this is very, very important. We need to get this out. Rex 84, martial law, is coming, folks. Independence Day is closing in. The fake aliens are closing in from China. The micro drones that killed them people in Parkland, Florida is closing in. Everybody needs to wake up. Get you some shotguns, get you some bubble gum, and start kicking ass. Or get the fuck out. One or the other.
This, it's very possible he could face charges for that.
Even treason.
Yes.
And that would be the death sentence.
Yeah.
Now, this takes me back to our initial talking point here of your investigation into the cyber breach at the embassies.
Yes.
And quite clearly, you feel that that was intentional, that that's a hole that's left there. It just seems very much the same as having this wide out in the open, unsecured server.
Yeah.
And it brings me to the notion of Imran Awan. How does he play into this whole Hillary's server, Weiner's laptop, Comey cover-up? I mean, here we've got a guy, he's working for his own defense attorney. That has now been confirmed by a process server visually observing him answering the door. People who know him hearing him answering the phones. One of the partners at Gowan, Silva, and Winograd, Jesse Winograd, confirming that he's in there answering the phones, asking what's my point, and even inquiring, what the hell is this guy Imran Awan doing? Why does the prosecuting attorney, the U.S. attorney, not even want to stay on the phone click to listen to me when I'm calling to present him with evidence of a clandestine server hidden in a shed at 4809 Sprayer Street, a home that he owned, rented to Laurel Everly, had this high-speed Cox cable internet router there. What the hell is going on with this guy, and how does he play into the mix?
Oh, yeah, and we know that he had access even into the Senate Intelligence Committee computers. Espionage again. And of course, Debbie Wasserman Schultz protected him even after the were fired. I mean, this just stinks of espionage. And now we find out
the biggest case of espionage possibly in the history of the country.
This whole thing is the biggest espionage case in U.S. history, hands down.
And their biggest defense is to act like nothing's happening.
It's nothing. Let's deflect it to something else. Yeah.
Will we see justice, Kevin?
Boy, we haven't seen it yet. We have not seen it yet. With Donald Trump out of the box, it's possible. I'll be talking this evening and showing the exact violations of Title 18 that at the FBI, Brennan and some of these other people, and Hillary Rodham Clinton, have committed. These are felonies, documented felonies. Those have never come out before. And I understand some of this has been provided to Congress.
Did you hear his voice? He said, "Oh boy." He don't think it's going to happen. He's even told me on the phone he don't think it's going to happen, folks. He didn't tell Truther that a while ago. This interview is happening right now live. I'm pausing it just to tell you he don't think none of this is going to come out, guys. The only way it's going to come out is us, we the people, get it out. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. I'm actually making over 13 Facebook accounts, all mystery accounts, and putting all my videos on there and putting out news and everything else, what's coming and what's going on, because they're trying to shut me down. It's not working. I've got 50 emails ready to roll, but they shut me down on this one. And then I'm going to go to the next one. And I'm going to go to the next one. And I'm going to go to the next one. So if you're on their side, sorry about your damn luck. Like the 6 likes. Thank you, and thank you for showing up. We care. I just wonder if you do.
I hope so. But it's finally being made public that these people have engaged in willful felonies. That's never happened before. So that's encouraging. You're going up against the international global Clinton crime syndicate, which stretches into the Congress and into the Senate with some of their global connections. And I think there's a bit of a blackmail ring in some other pretty nefarious areas there where the Clinton syndicate has control over a lot of congressmen and senators. What have we seen? 48 not running for office again? What a coincidence.
Right.
So that's
why do you think they're doing that? Because they're refusing to be controlled, or?
It's about to come out what their connections were to the Clinton Foundation and other things. And I think in a lot of cases, some of these people in their power had accosted some of their interns.
Yes, that is correct, Davis. The gun control, so, what I found out, if you've not seen my last video with the missile and the movie Sum of All Fears, everything is coming out from movies, folks. They already had this planned. Guys, do y'all not see what's going on? Are y'all awake? Or are y'all still asleep over there? Do I need to get you some... Cannot believe I'm about to say this. You want me to go get you some Paul Begley coffee for you? Freemason coffee? Y'all been lied to. The church has been lying to y'all. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Some of their young female interns, and they don't want that, they don't want that coming out. So when you have...
We've just had this guy, this 22-year-old guy who's been arrested for somehow trying to arrange child rape when he's supposed to be running some child rescue company.
Well, that's where they go. They go to the child rescue place. The pedophiles do. They go to the orphanages, the boys' homes. They go there. They go to daycare centers. They even go to some church.
Well, it's like what John Dillinger said. That's robbing banks because that's where the money is. Yeah. So pedophiles are going where the kids are.
That's where they'll go. That's right.
Unbelievable. So, okay, later today you're going to be giving a presentation. You're going to be outlining these felonies.
Yes.
I think it's important for us to remind the audience that in your capacity this afternoon, you're an author now. You're a private citizen. You don't have the ability to bring criminal charges against anyone.
Right.
I'm frequently getting emails from people asking, when am I, when is Charles Ortel, when are you going to do something?
Yeah.
We're doing it right now. We're trying to raise public awareness. We're trying to compel those in power.
That's why I come on
your
show.
Yeah, I appreciate it tremendously. And it's another reason why people should buy your book. The book, of course, is available on your website. Let's give everybody the details again and just how they can get it.
Yeah, it's from the company Shadows. You can get it, a signed copy on fortheloveoffreedom.net. And the book is a mission. It's got things in there I think that have never been published before, just exposing the shadow government, and an actual cover-up as well. So it's more of a mission than anything else. I think people will find it fascinating because there's things in there that have never been published before. So if they get it through fortheloveoffreedom.net, we'll make sure we get a signed copy.
Right. And later tonight on this channel, we're going to be live streaming your presentation. What is it that people can expect to see? You're going to reveal these felonies. You're going to be talking. Give us just a little insight to the extent that you're able.
Yeah, so I'm going to go through the shadow government and deep state, and I'm going to trace it all the way down to Bill and Hillary's connection and their ties into the shadow government and the deep state, and their global ties to the international global order, and how that fits into the shadow government and their massive international crime syndicate that they have created over the last 30 years, which involves our shadow government.
Remember, guys, have you ever seen any of the Purge movies? Martial law is gonna be our purge. I don't know how that's gonna go. Okay. I do know one thing. We got to look at Red Dawn first, because that's what everybody's calling it. Rex 84 is like Red Dawn. Okay, Head to the Hills is what Patrick Swayze did in his old Chevrolet. I don't know if that was a Silverado he was driving or what, but you want to have an old vehicle like a dune buggy or something that was in the 80s, because it won't be stopped because of the EMP attack. If you got four-wheelers, if you got coils on your four-wheelers, it will not go. Anything that's got electric coils will not go. David told me that. David Hyde, one of my old friends, he told me that it won't go. So, you said you were going to ride four-wheelers. Well, the only way to get four-wheelers to run is to take the electric coils off and run like weed eater engines, or some lawnmowers have no coils. But like I said, you need to look at that, see if there's any electric coils on your four-wheelers. I suggest you to get a horse and a wagon, buddy. That's where we're going to have to go with it, partner. I don't see... We're going to have to go back to the Lonesome Dove days, buddy. We're going to have to go back when Woodrow had horses and the Indians were circling the wagon. I know you're young, and I know you know nothing about the Wild Wild West, but you need to start. I've been watching a lot of Westerns. My stepfather is a Navy SEAL, and he is watching nothing but Westerns. He's been training every week, shooting, getting ready. I can't shoot because I've got bad eyes. I don't want to shoot nobody the wrong way, so what I'm going to do is start throwing knives and shooting stars, and I'm going to have like grenades, like tear gas. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to do like Home Alone. I'm injured. I cannot see. I cannot do like everybody else. I'm just getting the word out for them. I'm the speaker of the Marines Militia. I'm the speaker of WikiLeaks. And I'm the speaker of Anonymous and CIA, ex-CIA and ex-NSA. that has walked away from the pedophile government. You do not know how strong and how tough these people are. 13 world banks owned your ass, and you need to own them. Just like the Robin Hood movie. Look, Robin Williams was murdered, folks, by these people. Chester Bennington was murdered by these people. Lincoln Park. Paul Walker was murdered by a drone, folks. It was not a car wreck. I'm tired of hearing that. It's not true. You've been lied to, guys. Y'all been lied to. Tyrese was lied to, folks. Vin Diesel knew about it, didn't give a shit. Tyrese was the only one that cried at his funeral. The other ones was garbage. That's why I stopped watching the Fast and the Furious movies. I'm sorry, guys. Paul Walker was the real deal. He even used his money to keep you safe. They were probably paid. Yeah, you're right. They were. Y'all don't understand. The puppet master is the bankers. The puppet strings is the money. Just like Glenn Beck said in Fox News when they fired him. He was trying to tell you something before Obama told Fox to fire him. Obama was on the phone with Loretta Lynch on the tarmac that day with the Clintons and telling her what to do. Do you realize that? Do you realize Obama is Osama bin Laden's family, Saddam Hussein's family, and ISIS is CIA? They just put black masks on like Ninja Turtles, like the Foot Clan. It was our men, folks. It was the contractors. They blamed the Muslims over nothing. It was all a plan to get the oil. The oil in the Middle East. What did the Bible say? We're going to fight for the oil. That's what's happening, folks. There's my Robin I made. I made two of them. Robin Hood and Robin. From Batman and Robin. This is my Robin Hood for y'all. I'm trying to get the gold back for the poor. And that's what I'm doing. I'm like a little dog in a big fence. And I'm trying to go after the big dogs. And that's what I'm doing. And I want you to follow me. I want you to help me. Kevin Shipp wants you to help him. He's been poisoned, guys. His family got poisoned. That pissed him off. What if your family was raped or poisoned? You gonna fight back? Yeah, hell yeah, you're gonna fight back. If you don't, then you're an idiot. And I know a bunch of y'all are religious and Christians, but you've been deceived. You've been lied to. I believe in God, but you're not going to have God and Jesus come to earth to tell you, hey, you're coming to heaven. You're coming to heaven when your kids are safe. When your kids are safe from the rapture, that's when you don't fight back. The rapture hasn't showed up yet. Don't do it. Because there's going to be two different raptures, folks. The rapture of the micro drones. That's coming very soon, guys. July 27th. They've already been out there. The rapture's been hitting every country besides us. And they hit the schools with them. If you did not know where them drones were coming from, they're coming from the EU, where ICANN is, where your internet was taken from Obama to ICANN. I'm not making this up, guys. Everything I have said has come true. That's why I've got so many subscribers. The way I look at it, if you don't have subscribers, that means you're lying. The ones that does have subscribers and is way up there, they've been bought out to the NWO, and they're telling you lies. Nibiru is not a planet, folks. It's a big red satellite from China. It's the red dragon that you're seeing up in the air. They're monitoring you with it. And it's not big as the sun. Oh my God, when somebody sent me that and told me, what is that? Okay. That's cool. Amy reporting to me. I can't talk to her, but she can talk to me. They somehow separated me and Amy because we've been working hard. She's not on this channel. Unbelievable. Hey, did you share this? Ring? Amy don't even realize that we're on, and I don't understand why she has not hit the button yet. Let's see here. Well, yeah, I even know the King James Version was written by Shakespearean influence, so I know there's a real Bible. Yes, there is a real Bible. Yeah. My Bible says we'll see Jesus in heaven. Not here. The second coming, when they say the second coming of God, the gods they're talking about is God of Lamb. Y'all are so confused. Because they've been sitting there saying, I believe in God. But this is the same guy that's been with his daughter, Trump. How about that little article that just came out with about the Obamas, huh? They were never married? I didn't know that. I thought Michelle and Michael Obama was married to Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. I am not shocked with all this news that's coming out right now, folks. I am not. I'm shocked over the people that's keeping their mouths shut and ready to get slaughtered like Michael Myers slaughtered Hattonfield in Indiana. That's what I see happening. I see that you don't believe in the boogeyman. The boogeyman's here, guys. He's coming. He's coming like Michael Myers. He's coming like Jason. He's coming like Freddy Krueger. He's coming like Dracula. They're going to suck your blood out. Because that's what they do. They're going to eat your kids. Do you realize what Keanu Reeves was saying in Christmas? Did y'all not see that story? Keanu Reeves said they were eating babies. So wake up, people. Wake up. That makes me want to throw up talking about that. And then Prince Williams pisses on Jordan and jacks off. Disgusting. Prince Harry, a joke. Well, it wasn't June 27th with the earthquake and the volcano. We've had earthquakes, no doubt. But it's getting ugly, folks. It's getting ugly. I don't know how to explain it. But Ring, I really appreciate all the help you have done. Holy cow. Davis, if you want to do the same thing, I know you're on my Facebook. Go ahead. We need to get it out. Get it out to your family. Tell them what's going on. I'm having to do this under the table, under the radar. And that's fine. You get to see a show of my game designs at the same time. I had a plan. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but it hit me. I said, wait a minute. I've been telling all the NASCAR online drivers what the plan was. Why don't I do it on YouTube with the game designs and let's spread it out on the games side, the gamer side? Because there's people out there that needs to know too. That's what I did. I gotta charge my camera. It's been really short lately. That's a new camera too. I don't know what's going on with that. I charged it up all night long too. That is wacko. Wacko. Waco, wacko, folks. I'm not kidding. Something worse than David Koresh is about to happen in the United States. If you don't remember David Koresh, well, let's charge this thing up. Just hold on, folks. I'm trying to put it in there. There you go. And he had a cult. This is what I feel like. I feel like the cult, David Koresh, was following the 13 world banks. Same thing as Hitler in Germany. Guys, y'all don't understand. A lot of people died that year. World War II was really, really bad for my grandfather. Remember when he said drop the wall, Reagan? That was all a plan for this to start. George Soros seen that wall drop. He moved away from Germany and went to the EU, went to Europe. And then that was it. He said, you know what, I'm going to get the United States back. And that's what he's been doing all this time. The sad part is, people didn't realize who George Soros was. Hell, I didn't even know who George Soros was. I just joined 4 years ago, folks. I don't even like YouTube. I don't like Facebook. I don't like Twitter. They kicked me off Instagram. Literally kicked me off because I put the pedophiles on my Facebook. Or on my... I did it on all of them. But Instagram really hit me hard. I said, forget it. I don't need to be Instagram anyways. It's the same thing as Facebook. So, there you have it. We're still going to keep on going. We'll let y'all hear this. And then we do have a race tonight, Daytona Xfinity Series. I'll be back for that. And we'll have more news guaranteed. We're watching storms come in. If the storm does not shut me down, I will be back. Okay? If it's late, that's fine. I'm going to come back because we're running out of time. July 4th is next week. Therefore, what's going to happen, folks? Anything. Remember the movie Independence Day. Oh, boy. Remember that. And remember July 27th with all the planets supposed to be lining up with Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam. Remember that. Okay? So, here we go. Listen some more about this guy. He knows what's up. I don't know what's going on. Okay, he's done. Huh, he stopped. It's over. Okay. It's over. Well, let's go to the next one. Because I'm sure there's more news out there. Let's see here. Coincidence. Somebody has been... What is coming? Q says. Probably nothing. I'll be vacationing in Georgia next week. You're going to Georgia for what? Go say hello to the Godstones. That'll wake your ass up. Wow. Okay. Rex 84. Obama's New World Order. Check this out. He signed this thing in 2013. Listen to this.
Yeah, but I want to play from...
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, but I want to play from a promotional video put out by Guardian Centers. Some of the video for you right now, and we've been showing some of it as well while I've been talking here, where again, interspersed with the firefighters and other legitimate things, it shows the military rounding people up, and every one of them is black. Now, that's newsworthy right there. I've been to these drills where they all are farmers wearing John Deere caps and stuff, saying, you can't take my land, you can't take my guns. Very scary stuff. But it was a black farmer, white farmer, Hispanic farmer. Little extra black folks. I mean, obviously saying, it's for Al-Qaeda, that's a bad group, but it's really for all Americans. Oh, well, blacks, they're kind of looked down on quietly by some people. Oh, look, it's for blacks, so it's okay. And it's military and white guys, white civilians looking on as groups of blacks stump over cars and, get rounded up and thrown behind barbed wire. I mean, this is pretty outrageous. But don't expect Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, the race baiters, to say anything. They're just there to create racial division in the country, not actually point out that there's preparation to target black communities. Not actually point out that there's preparation to target black communities. Not actually point out that there's preparation to target black communities, which are under gun control like Chicago and has the highest crime rate in the world, which are under the fake drug war that's bringing down Chicago, just like Mexico's collapsing. It's the policies that are causing cultural collapse. But here's some of the promotional video hiding in plain view.
So Alex Jones says black people are going to be rounded up, not white people. I haven't heard that. See what I'm talking about? Alex Jones is so wacko, way out there. It's not even funny. It's for everyone. It's black, white, Hispanic. It's Muslims. It's atheists. It's drug addicts. It's anybody. Christians, everybody, guys. It's everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Your dog might be picked up so they can have sex with. If you haven't heard, they're going to legalize that too. They're going to legalize having sex with animals and legalizing kids to have sex with, because they don't want you to have another child. They're going to teach the kids in school, starting in August, sex, safe sex, more than ever. Like 50 Shades of Grey stuff. I put it on my YouTube channel, on my other one. Rest in peace, NWO. That one. Y'all need to go check it out.
It's not meant to depress you. It's meant to make you aware. It's not meant to make you walk out here feeling like there's no hope. It's meant to make you walk out here saying, I gotta get busy and informing my brothers and sisters what's really going on, so that we can prepare ourselves for what is coming. The information.
Look, I got a story coming out telling me that the contractors during Hurricane Katrina, they didn't just rape women and kids. They raped men and dogs. Disgusting. That's all I got to say. Disgusting. Unbelievable. And that's what Podesta's into. John Podesta has a farm in California. Chicken farm. And guess what he does with them? Chester Bennington was trying to tell us before he got murdered. All of this was coming out. He was trying to let us know something, and they murdered him. His wife was trying to tell him to calm down. They're going to kill you. And they did. So.
That I'm going to share with you personally, I have researched it along with many of my colleagues, and we found a lot of this information in the United States Library of Congress. A lot of this information has finally been declassified after being held away from the masses, or kept back from the masses after many years. Because of the satanic, evil, and clandestine objectives contained
Guys, I'm going to have to get off here. We got tornado warnings in the county. This is bad. The lightning's bad. I'm going to have to pause. I'm going to try to stop it. We'll get back going in a little while. This sucks. I really wanted to finish this. But the storm is really bad, and if the lightning hits my computers, it's over. I'm going to shut everything off. But thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. This is a long video, but for crying out loud, I cannot believe this. I'm just going to, we're going to start it all over, okay? Thank you for showing up, guys. The ones that does care. And thank you for the likes. I love every one of y'all. This is bad. I got to go check out the weather. Love you all. Peace.